The sun was setting over the Sea of Galilee, casting hues of gold and crimson across the rippling waters. Jesus stood at the shore, his robe swaying gently in the evening breeze. He instructed his disciples to board the boat and cross to the other side while he dismissed the multitude, who were still marveling at the miraculous feeding of the 5,000. After the crowd dispersed, Jesus climbed a nearby mountainside. The path was steep, lined with rugged rocks and sparse shrubs. Alone at the summit, under a canopy of stars, he knelt in prayer. The night was still, save for the stars. Jesus communed with his Father, finding solace and strength in the solitude. Out on the Sea of Galilee, the disciples were not so fortunate. The wind had picked up, howling through the darkness. The boat, a small and sturdy vessel, was being tossed by rising waves that slapped against its sides with force. Peter and John struggled at the oars, their faces tense with effort, while the others bailed water frantically. The sea was chaotic, the moonlight barely piercing through the ominous clouds. They shouted to one another over the roar of the wind, their voices tinged with fear and exhaustion. Hours passed, and just before dawn, the disciples spotted someone, approaching across the water. At first, it appeared as a shadowy figure, moving effortlessly on top of the water waves. Their hearts raced, and terror gripped them. "It's a ghost," one of them cried, their collective fear mounting. Then, a calm yet commanding voice cut through the storm. "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." The voice was unmistakable, it was Jesus. The disciples stared in awe, their fear giving way to astonishment as the figure drew closer, walking steadily on the waving water. Peter, always the bold one, called out, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus, his face illuminated with a serene confidence, replied simply, "Come." Peter hesitated for a moment, then swung his legs over the side of the boat. The waves surged around him, but his eyes were fixed on Jesus. To the astonishment of the others, he began walking on the water, his steps tentative but miraculous. The wind howled, and Peter's focus wavered. He glanced at the towering waves, his courage shaking as fear took hold of him. Suddenly, he began to sink, the cold water swallowing him up to his waist. "Lord, save me!" Peter cried, his voice desperate. Immediately, Jesus reached out, his hand strong and steady, and caught Peter. Pulling him up, Jesus said, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" The rebuke was gentle but firm, a reminder of the power of unwavering trust. Together, they walked back to the boat, the storm raging around them. As soon as Jesus and Peter stepped into the boat, the wind ceased, and the sea became as smooth as glass. The sudden stillness was almost surreal, the transformation leaving the disciples struck. They fell to their knees, their voices trembling with reverence as they said, "Truly you are the Son of God." The realization of who Jesus truly was struck them deeply, their faith grew by the miracle they had just witnessed. The boat gently drifted toward the shore as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon. The disciples sat in hushed reflection, the earlier terror replaced by a profound sense of peace. Jesus, calm and composed, gazed at the glowing horizon. His presence was a beacon of hope and reassurance, a reminder that even in the midst of life's storms, his power and love were unwavering. For Peter, the memory of Jesus' hand pulling him from the waves would remain in his heart, a testament to both the human faith and the strength of divine grace.